All right, welcome everybody. Salty Tears Part 2. Long awaited. Resume of this Marvel Universe. So, without any further ado, no need introductions. We got the final home stretch. We got a few more movies to go. Let's start off with good old. Look at Paul Rudd himself.
Hey.
Ant-Man versus Wasp.
The side.
I know we already kind of touched on Ant-Man 1, so is this a redemption movie for them?
Where do we put Ant-Man 1?
So as a recap, Ant-Man first one, solo Ant-Man was solid C. For everything else, that's very meh. Ant-Man versus Wasp.
D, Delta, Dragon, the Dragon. Yes, I think it's a D movie. I tell you why. It's a D movie, right? Don't nobody know what happened in that movie. That's y'all can't tell me what happened in that movie. All you
I can. But keep going. I'm
gonna tell you what you remember. You remember some chick who downloaded LimeWire and she was glitching out the whole movie. And you saw that, you know, at the end, somebody got snapped while he went into the alternate dimension. That's okay. It, man. That's all you remember. That's it.
Nah, it's a good car chase scene. You know, they moved in a little mini car, and then it would go regular size. And
that funny moment sound.
Okay. I do agree with you. I would put this at a D as well. The comedy stick of this movie is there.
That meant C tier.
You say C?
It's always straight in the middle.
All right, so as it was resumed, this was a 28 release.
Mm-hmm.
It had the same cast as the previous, except we did have the addition of Mr. Fishburne himself.
He was like the scientist guy, right?
Yeah, there's already some more. We had continued funniness. We had the security guards who continued. More adding on with the kid of what Fishman called Paul Rudd's kid.
Yeah.
With all that said, so try to stay neutral. I can't say this was worse than the first one, to be honest.
Really? Not worse. You said you put it on the same level.
The first one, it was a C tier because it was a filler. It was just to tell you the setup to how basically the Avengers going to defeat Thanos. Mm-hmm. That was it. That's literally what the purpose of that movie.
So, in correlation with this was also, it gave some kind of backlog or some background information for the Marvel Cinematic. Of course, they touched on that again with these movies also that we're about to touch on. As well as it gave us some more introductions to some more sciencey stuff with different avenues. You know, the Avengers, all of them, Hulk and everyone, they always touched on science, different stuff, but this is another level of science, and then they did a worse job of it. So even with all of that being said, it's still very mad.
I mean, but it's like I'm trying to think about this from a character viewpoint, right? So Ant-Man, what's his name? What's Ant-Man? Who's the Ant-Man in the MCU?
Hank Pym?
That's a
doctor.
No, it's not Hank Pym. It's
Scott Lang.
Yeah.
Scott Lang in the first movie had, you know, he started off, he's in jail and he's trying to get with his, trying to reclaim his life to get back in a relationship with his daughter, and you know he was doing things just to get there, and he just stumbled upon this, and then he became a hero. Mm-hmm. It was, you know, a typical hero. So, and the second movie, I think Silk put on is the first movie. I can't call it filler because, you know, at least there's a start, there's a beginning or something. This was filler, like it, you know, like this. His character didn't progress. He didn't change. You know, he's the same guy at the end of the film as he is at the beginning. Like,
he was a father though in this one. Shout out to all the fathers.
Yeah. What you think, Jordan?
Can't really comment on this. I did not watch that movie.
Oh,
That makes sense. It was the first time I saw it, to be honest. I mean, yeah.
I tell you what. This is how we can conclude this. Would you rather watch would you rather watch any of these C tier movies? How many times have you watched these C tier movies versus how many times you watch Ant-Man and the Wasp?
I've actually watched.
Seen some of these C tiers more than once.
I watched Ant-Man more than once.
And the Wasp.
I have one.
No, Ant-Man and Wasp more than once. Some of these other ones I haven't watched again.
I watched it 1.5.
Yeah, I watched it 1.5.
Just to watch the end of it again.
So as a footnote, we do have to refresh our memory as well as our viewers. We are doing some of the C+ tiers and some more final adjustments towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
So some of this, of course, isn't super permanent. But with that still being said, we can't put this lower than a C.
Bro, it's right there with Captain America, bro. It's right there with Captain America.
It's not even a bad movie.
I can't objectively say it's worse than Ant-Man.
Okay.
It's on the same level as Ant-Man.
You rather watch Ant-Man and Wasp or Captain America the first one? Which one would you watch?
I'm gonna watch Ant-Man, bro. I'm a super watch
I'll watch
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
I don't think it's that much better.
Yeah. I never want to see Captain America First Avenger again. Ever, dog. Like, I never want to see that movie again.
It aged a little better than some of these other ones too. Like I can't get a little worse than this.
I'm gonna see what you. That's fine.
We really saying we really saying Ant-Man and Wasp on the same level as the Incredible Hulk in the first Thor movie.
So,
Saying that?
Yes.
Oh, nah, I disagree.
what do you remember from like Hulk?
You mean the first Incredible Hulk with Abomination? It's about a C tier movie. That's about the same. That's about the same.
Yeah, but I'll be honest.
And Thor one is the same.
But even in those films, but the thing is, in those films, there are great moments that I will go back to in those films.
I don't know.
Ant-Man and the Wasp don't have that. Ant-Man and the Wasp, nobody can
You better watch that again, bro. You better watch that again.
Interracial comedy.
All those C-tier movies have trash moments. That's a C-tier movie. It's okay. Every one of them. All of them that you name have trash moments, but all of them have a decent story. All three of them have a decent story. It's just trash moments.
And think about it, we brought the Asian guy into the MCU, and now he's all the way into WandaVision. So he gets props off of the Asian guy alone.
All I'm saying, I'll take this C. That's what but I'm just saying, with these other movies in the C tier, there are moments in there that people will plug into YouTube. Like, let me see this part. Just want to see this part. Ain't nobody doing this for Ant-Man and Wasp, bro. Y'all don't care about this movie. Y'all don't care about this movie. It ain't in y'all heart. Y'all know.
It's in my heart. I have faith. I have faith.
All right.
Did you not like the antagonist in this movie?
Man, she was a sympathetic villain. They lame.
Never mind. Never mind.
He's a victim.
I think he hates understanding.
I think Brandon got a little agenda. Brandon got a little agenda against this one. I don't know. It's a little strong.
It's a little strong.
We'll see how it all shakes down. We'll see how it all shakes down.
Oh, what happened?
All right,
look, she glitched me out. She glitched me out.
She heard you talking that jump. All right, so we got Ant-Man and Wasp. We're gonna keep it going. Now we get into the real heavy hitters. Now we get into the
All right.
the critically acclaimed. Now we get into when this come out. Whatever. We're going Captain Marvel. The
Bro,
first.
trash.
But D.
Yeah.
D.
Yeah.
Z tier.
We don't have to talk about this very
I
long.
ain't even gonna lie to you. The story was not bad, but I don't like the actress. I'm biased. I don't like her.
Yeah.
Not she.
Yeah, I don't like
not
it either.
it. The story
unlikable.
was not bad. The story was not bad. It was not bad.
You was okay with the scrolls, bro?
I don't think the story was bad. I like
so bad. Bro, they
the scrolls thing. I
didn't like the scrolls thing. I didn't like the scrolls thing at all.
I didn't like the scrolls. Yeah, they made the scrolls into nice guys. Like,
Yeah, I didn't like that.
and the whole thing.
Stuff. It worse stuff that Marvel the Cinematic Universe did than that. That's why I didn't care.
That's true.
That's true.
Way worse stuff than
But
That's
they
true.
didn't help it.
This was a boring movie. Overall,
Yeah, but that movie's trash. And I'm gonna tell you why the movie trash. Outside the fact that they did that to the scrolls. Hold on, outside the fact they did that to the scrolls, the whole movie. Let's just take Carol Danvers' character, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the whole movie, they did it was an origin film. And they was like, she's a woman, she's gone through this, she's gone through the struggle of being a woman in the military, and then she gets her powers or whatever, and some man is telling her, you have to control yourself, you have to control your emotions. I'm like, she ain't had no emotions the whole movie, dog. She's like a wooden plank. Right, and then they took off her limiter, and all of a sudden she could do this stuff. It was like a Saturday morning cartoon, the bad filler episode, like Jean Grey forgot her power for an episode, and then she gets it back at the end.
Yeah,
it wasn't good.
It legit was just like written for her to be in the next movie.
She ruined it, and I'm gonna say that because I agree with what Brandon said. But if they would have had a girl that showed emotion, that could legit act, it would have made sense. That's why I say her period ruined that whole. I can deal with the scrolls, they did worse, but if they had a better actress that wasn't already, I'm just being real. She's feminist, wherever she don't like to be told what to do. And it carried throughout the whole movie. The whole movie, you can tell she's just weird like that. I did not like it. Like,
but not only that, her co-star, the woman that was supposed to be her friend, who's mom to Monica Rambeau, I believe.
Yeah.
She is such a great actress. She acted around Brie Larson in this movie. Like that one scene where she got emotional about where have you been. I was like, there's acting in this film. Whoa, that's amazing. Like, yeah, dude. Pretty much that what they did with Nick Fury with his eye, like they really did that to my boy Nick Fury. A cat scratched his eye out.
I mean, it's an alien cap, though. It's an alien cap.
How many times you get to see Nick Fury get hit?
Yeah,
what is it? What was the villain? I know.
This is good Captain America, bro. Y'all tripping. I'm gonna be letting y'all know right now. Y'all tripping, bro.
This movie is not better than Captain America. That's why I gave it a D.
Yeah.
It's not. I would watch Captain America before I watch this.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. That's what to the dark world again.
Jordan, what you got, John? You over there with your hand like this, bro? What you thinking, bro?
What you think?
Once again, definitely did not see that. I can't comment.
That's funny.
All I can say is that they have a tenderizer in the movie. Was that move used in?
Oh heck no! The Skrulls didn't do anything this whole movie, dog. They were refugees.
Oh yeah.
They didn't do nothing. So there's no Super Skrull, nothing.
Put that mug in the Z tier.
Relax. Let me tell you else what made that movie garbage. She didn't have a villain. Once she went Super Saiyan,
let me look at this list.
once she went Super Saiyan in the end, it was some dude, it was some regular basic dude trying to fight her. I'm like, bro, she just flew through a spaceship under.
Who was the villain, bro? Like, who did she fight?
Hold on. So y'all telling me that this is on the same level as Thor: The Dark World?
Yes, it was that bad, bro. Yes.
You gotta relax.
But keep that D tier. But I'd rather watch Captain Marvel than Thor: The Dark World. That mess was trash.
Like, would you ever watch Thor 2: The Dark World over Captain Marvel?
I would never watch that. I'd rather die than
watching. I need my time back from these movies.
I regret watching Thor: The Dark World. Man, stop.
Sure.
No one.
It deserves a friend, bro. It deserves. All right, look, we need to take a vote. I need to take a vote. This movie's trash.
Hey, the emotional connection in Captain Marvel is way better than Thor off-rip. It was a little girl. And just like we got the Asian guy in the last movie, we got the black guy in this one, and we're going places. I got nothing from Thor, and I'm leaving it right there.
I would leave it where it is.
I'd rather watch. That's trash.
Yeah.
All right, so check this out. So hold on. All right, Japan Man. What do you put this film, bro? D or Z? You only get D or Z, bro. What do you put this film, bro?
I would leave it at D, and the only reason is because even though I watched this whole movie, I only seen 5 minutes of Thor 2: The Dark World, and I immediately cut it off, and I never, ever had any remote ambition to ever go back and finish that movie, ever. So I can't say, honestly, that I would watch Thor 2: The Dark World over Captain Marvel again. Even though I won't ever watch Captain Marvel again either, just like I watched all of Captain America First Avenger and kind of hated it the whole time, I feel the same way about Captain Marvel. Like, yes, I watched this movie. I don't like it. I can't say it's like the worst of the worst of the worst, because Thor 2: The Dark World exists. So, like, I'm going to leave it at D. But I understand the rage.
Man.
As much as I don't like Captain Marvel character, the story was better than Thor: The Dark.
Yes, at the very least.
Better. And I have to give it a D. Yeah, it's trash, but it's dumpster juice trash. It's dumpster juice trash. It's not Z. It's not Gehenna. Z is Gehenna. and it's gone forever.
Put the flame on it. That's hilarious.
Bro, my head hurt over this. I don't understand. I'm trying to This is what I'm thinking. This is my thought process, y'all. And Captain America, right? It was, to me, I consider Captain America meh. It's not, I don't feel like it's not a great movie. It's not a good, it happened, right? But even in that, you got the scene where you saw some heroes. This is the MCU full of Marvel superhero movie films. These are superhero movie films, right? In that movie, Steve Rogers, we saw some heart, man. We saw this dude dive on a grenade while he was still skinny. You know, you saw that, he did this because of this, that, and the third. He watched his friend die. It set up the best, without a doubt, Captain America is the best MCU character. That's just me, objectively speaking. That's the best character in this whole thing. He ain't my favorite, but he's the best written. That's just my opinion. All right, but look. Okay. This is my opinion.
Hold on. I feel like up to this
Captain
point.
Captain Marvel. Okay. But look,
up
Captain
to this
Marvel,
point, you're right.
Yeah. But Captain Marvel, bro, none of that. There's no heart in this movie. It does not have a heartbeat, bro.
It's true. It's a big, I feel like anything watching this, it's emotionally dead. That's truth. Just like Brie Larson's acting.
And I feel like, and here's another thing, right? Even Ant-Man and the Wasp that we just talked about, added to the full thing. It showed us how the Avengers was gonna beat Thanos. This added nothing.
That's why it's that's why
That's the thing. Like,
That's not true, and that's not 100% true. Not 100% true.
But bruh, it didn't matter. Like when Infinity Endgame happened, this movie had no bearing other than the fact that you got Super Saiyan Carol Danvers.
They explained basically why the Tesseract came around, right? Wasn't that like involved with this movie kind of heavy? Like why the cat, like it swallowed it at the end of it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it so the focus is not, when introduced the Tesseract, that's what Japan was getting at. So now we understand how that even came about, but also it's still zoomed out from just Earth. Granted, we had Guardians, we had a door, but still, they're still almost like Earth-centric, and this was 100% like, well, not 100%.
Yeah, it was still
but like, let them know, like, all the calamity, all the stuff that is going on elsewhere, it's like, all right, that is somewhat of a thing. And then they will do the gimmicky loophole to having it be a continuation of Infinity War. And how there's a glimmer of hope. And so, not the worst. I don't care about none of that though, because we still got old black girl from this movie, and it's a win for me. And Sam Jack. I can't give Sam Jack dumpster juice.
Okay, I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that. It's a D, bro. It's a D. I'm not gonna give it the zebra tier. It's a D, bro.
Wait, this is the one when he was on the beach? This is when Sam Jack was on the beach, right?
I remember.
No. Bruh, all I'm saying is y'all got a ninja in here who ain't even bothered watching this movie.
Somebody who hasn't watched it, if you didn't put the tenderizer in there, man, this is E tier to me.
Super strong Fantastic Four. They can't do that. So I mean, we wasn't gonna have that regardless, bro. We wasn't gonna have that regardless.
If I don't get somebody jumping in the air and yelling tenderizer, it means nothing to me. It means nothing.
Shout out Marvel vs. Capcom 3, man. Good times.
Oh man.
What's next?
Man, move on to the big boy, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so we continue on. We got some more goodies. Same year, same hype train.
Hey.
Also, as my last follow back, not fair for Captain Marvel because it wasn't the same year. It was shoe wedged in there. Anywho, 2019, we got the good old 3-hour movie of Endgame. React.
This is a S tier movie.
That mug, yeah.
This is the pinnacle.
The end game?
All 3 hours?
All 3 hours. All 3 hours.
Tier. It can be S tier off moment.
It can be A or S. It can be A or S.
No. It can't be A. It can't be.
It's gotta be
S.
S off moments alone. Off moments alone.
Why? I'm gonna say S or A depend on how long you lasted paying attention to the movie. If you're a diehard fan, S tier. But I have people that complain that it was just too long.
Nah.
So for me, it wasn't too long.
I'm out of here.
No.
It was. You can't say it wasn't. No, it was long. I can't say
Who felt that it was long?
I did.
It didn't matter how long it was.
Nah.
It could have been 5 hours long. It didn't matter.
Exactly. I wanted more. Give me more. Yes. Transformers is long. Transformers 3 is a long, bad movie. Like, it's super long for no reason. Like, that movie I felt. Like, I just wanted, like, I'm like, is this not over yet? I can't walk out the theater yet. Like, they keep showing all this action or whatever. I'm numb to this. Avengers Endgame, I'm in 100% every scene. It never felt long to me. I was invested the whole time. So.
I know we're 2 hours in and it just started the time travel. We got another hour and a half to go.
But like we said, we're all invested into it.
Yeah.
We've been sitting here for a long time. But if you count somebody, let's say you caught them on, because some people just watch it just because Black Panther. Let's be real.
Right.
Some people ain't never paid attention to this.
Black Panther, Infinity War,
and once he died, like when Black Panther got snapped away in the first one, most of everybody else wanted to watch it just for him to come back. And some people are like, man, it's too long. To me, I give it an S tier. But some people gonna debate and give it an 8.
All right, so
just for the left.
Does anyone want to debate about how it's less than an A+? Is that minimum A+?
I mean,
minimum is S to me, bro.
Yeah, the minimum is S. I don't know what y'all talking about.
But all right, look.
The epicness
Still
kind
bring
of
up a good
trumps
point.
everything. It's hard.
Still bring up a good point, and I'm gonna say why. Now, look, I hate to be this guy because I don't want to be this guy because this movie was amazing. This movie was great. So yeah. But I say this. I usually don't like time travel in my movies if you're not Back to the Future, and it handled it better than most. It wasn't my favorite because most of the time, we're kind of seeing things that we've seen already until the end, pretty much. We're visiting different locations that we've seen. But look, let's be real here. Like this movie, at the end of this movie, the portals on your left.
Mm-hmm.
That's our Luke, I am your father moment. That's our moment in our generation. On your left, that scene was more. That made this movie more than just a movie.
Yes.
It did.
Yes.
It was the event when that happened. So, but with all that said, I mean, I've heard people say they like Infinity War better.
That's fine though. That's fine.
Yeah, but I mean, even still, like, yeah, dude, this movie ass.
Yeah.
Speaking here, Village 285, we don't speak for the general public. We speaking from that real. We love comments. Look, we got ass. Bump the general audience. Bump them.
I don't even care about what they feel.
I was gonna say this movie to me.
We don't care how y'all feel.
Yeah, exactly. To me, this movie.
But you better watch though. You better watch.
To me, this movie is like the Jeezy versus Gucci version. It won. This movie won for y'all outside of Atlanta. That versus was not for nobody outside of Atlanta.
Exactly.
This movie is not for y'all outside of here, man.
Yeah.
Look, we love y'all. We know y'all some cool people and all that. But we've been waiting years for this. I remember when Thanos was sitting on that throne. I remember this. I remember all the setup. I remember when he grabbed the gauntlet. When he grabbed the gauntlet, when it was like, all right, I guess I'm going to have to do it myself. We waited.
Yes.
We waited.
We did.
It's the culmination.
I remember when they teased Captain America being like, Avengers Assemble, and they played with my emotions. I remember that. I remember when Steve Rogers grabbed a hammer and it nudged a little bit. I remember it all. I remember all of it.
Yes.
Bro,
yes.
And then let's not forget that the only reason why we're getting the multiverse is because of this movie.
Yes.
Literally, when Loki picked up the Tesseract, it literally started Phase 4.
Yep.
It's got implications.
You can't.
Big implications.
You can't beat it.
So here's the thing, right? Because Infinity War I love so much, and I honestly didn't think they could top Infinity War because of what it did at the end, right? That's a movie that took it did not play it safe. When the snap happened, they showed the people who died, like they showed them die. And it's like, whoa, like I'm hearing little kids behind me in the theater start crying. Like after this amazing battle that just happened and they're so happy, now all of a sudden they are in shock. And it's like, they end the movie on that, like no soundtrack, like no music or anything. It's just like Captain says, "Oh God," and the movie ends. And it's like, dang, like that's such a gut punch. And it's like, okay, how are they gonna make me feel this emotional coming into a movie where I know they're gonna win? It's the Avengers. We know they're gonna win. How are they gonna, play this off? And like, you think you're coming in like, this is all going to happen immediately afterwards. Like, no, like this movie subverts expectations because it starts with them like saying, are we killing this dude? Like they find him, they were sad. They chop his head off. And again, Thor continuing with Thor and the pain that he's been going through from the last movie, you get to see him take his rage out and it still don't solve nothing. It doesn't fix anything. Right. The stones are gone at that point. So now we have a whole movie to skip ahead in the future, give us more details about what they done suffered through, and then they do get this beautiful moment by the end of it where, oh man, like not only is it the all your left part, not only is it Cap picking up the hammer, it's going all the way back to Iron Man. I am Iron Man. Like, come on, bro. Like that is super duper S tier stuff to me. That like, it competed with with Infinity War, so it put it on that same pedestal, if not even higher in some regard, because they pulled it off. They pulled off the impossible. No one, I don't think anyone expected that movie to be as good as it was. Like, I honestly didn't. So yeah, it's a super S tier movie for me.
And just like keying into just some of the characters in here, I feel like, and especially so we know, like, for example, the big four is, to me at least, of the Avengers is Iron Man, Cap, Hulk, Thor, right? Mm-hmm. And throughout the years, you know, Tony Stark was excellently written. So was Steve. Steve was great. Thor didn't get good till Ragnarok. Yeah, and what's interesting, I feel like in Endgame and in Infinity War, Thor was the best character out of them.
Oh my gosh!
Because everybody else, Thor lost everything, and I love the fact that it reflected on it. Yeah, sure, they played it up as a gag that he got, you know, he gained weight and he was just chilling, not doing nothing. But honestly, real life sometimes, man,
he was broken. You know, like they literally broke him.
And it broke him, you know, and like Japan Man said at the beginning, you see it in the beginning of the film, he still carries that. Like, he chops this dude's head off, like, no hesitation, don't ask no questions. He chops his head off. And and the whole movie, he's wondering if he's still worthy. Mm-hmm. And so that's why he went back in time, spoke to his mom, got that hammer back. That was dope.
And that was such a beautiful scene in and of itself. Him talking to his mom, that movie, man, like, emotionally, like, it still is hitting you with, like, gut checks all throughout the movie. Like, Gamora, like, we still not under that. Gamora's dead. Like, she gonna stay there. It's like, dang, like, wait, Black Widow, she gonna stay there. Like, it's like, dang, like, you know, like, it's still hitting you hard with, like, certain things throughout the whole thing. And then by the time it's over, it's like, man, like, Iron Man was really the truth. Like, I really did that. Like, even man, when Spider-Man came back, the reunion that him and Tony Stark had, like, fam, so many, like, just feel good moments, like, feel in your chest, like, you just perfect, bro.
Even the fact that I love that it was poetically done, because in the first Avengers, Iron Man and Cap are arguing with each other, and Cap says, "You're not the kind of guy that would lay down and let the other guy crawl over you." And Tony told him, everything that's special about you came out of a bottle. Yep. In this movie, we saw both of them prove each other wrong. Yep. Because we know that Iron Man did the sacrifice place, gave up his life, right? But then we saw that Cap was worthy. So he was more than just the fact that, you know, he got super soldier syndrome. This dude was worthy to hold Mjolnir. You know, he's the only other person in MCU that's done it. Vision don't count, man. Vision don't count. I don't care. Get that out of here, man. Get that out of here. Vision. Anyway.
Vision do count.
His life don't matter. His life don't matter, man. But look, yeah, it's dude, it was great. And Endgame was. I feel like too, this had a good effect on the actual. In terms of Hollywood approaching superhero movies, because this was done so well. DC for the longest been trying to catch up. I don't know why, but they've been trying to catch up with their universe. I feel like it just destroyed that. Now DC was like, let's stop that junk. Let's just go back to try to make good movies. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
they killed the Snyderverse.
It's because you can't skip the process. You can't skip the process. Marvel came through.
Played the long play.
Yeah, they had it from jump. They had to go through good and bad movies to get to this point. I love DC. I'm gonna be very honest. I am a DC fanboy. I'm always take DC over Marvel. But DC, when it got to it, for me at least. But I feel like it had to be after like maybe Avengers 1. I felt like DC got panicked and was like, all right, now we need to pull some drastic moves. And ever since then, it was downhill. So
Yeah, they always tried to speed run. They never tried to really catch up the right way.
Speed runner.
Yeah.
The process means something.
Yeah.
All right, I got a off-kilter question. How do you guys feel about the name of this movie?
Say it again?
How do you feel about the title of this movie? I know when I saw the title, because it was a secret title, so I know if I ain't found out the title of it, I felt
I don't
weird
know why
about
they
it.
made a big deal about it. Honestly, I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I think we all knew this movie was kind of going to be the end of an era.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
well, it's a direct quote from Strange. Doctor Strange says in Infinity War, we're in the end game now. So, it being the name of this movie,
that was the most climactic.
Yeah.
I mean, he said we're in the end game now. Okay, the end.
They could have named it I Don't Feel Too Well. This is way better quotes.
What's that,
I'm
brother?
gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be that guy because we have to be that. We have to be that guy sometimes.
You ain't got to be that guy. You got to
Look,
be that guy.
yes you do, man. You got to stand up for the little guy, but I'm standing up for the big guy in this sense. Look, man, the only thing this movie didn't do, they neutered my boy Hulk, man. They didn't give me that return of the Hulk that I wanted.
Yeah.
Like I accepted in Infinity War that Hulk got them hands to him. He put to him. I accepted that.
Yeah.
I bet round 2 is gonna be different. I never got around 2, man.
Ain't no rage, man. I want rage Hulk.
Yeah.
Rage. I want a world breaker Hulk.
I don't understand. I think we'll get him later on.
You're getting that. Even I know that.
I mean, I thought that, and I speak for Sonke here because Sonke had a good idea. I got to give it to him. Said that, it would have been cool if when he snapped, just like when Thanos snapped, he saw young Gamora, and, I'm sorry, little one, or what did they call everything, is that when Hulk snapped, he sees Natasha. They had a thing. And then knowing what happened to her, when he came back, put him in that enraged Hulk state that I've been wanting to see since the first Avengers. I wanted to see him go World Breaker Hulk. I wanted him to have Thanos scared.
It wasn't his fight to do it. I get why.
I mean,
I knew
he literally charged him there with his arm like this.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I wanted, man, Japan, man, know what I'm talking about. I wanted ultimate destruction.
Yeah.
Oh,
it wasn't going to happen. It was going to ruin the movie.
Yeah, it wasn't his fight. It wasn't his fight.
It wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
I knew that. We all wanted it to happen, but it wasn't going to happen.
Maybe they'll give him that shine at some point, but it would have taken away the spotlight of the sacrifices of both Captain America and Tony Stark.
I guess.
Because really, the whole thing is Thanos, and I'm glad we're kind of going in this direction because here's a character who we've seen be just amazing and crazy on one movie in Infinity War, and then he comes back and you see him in Endgame at the end of in the beginning of the movie. He's kind of just a chill dude at that point. He's like, I did what I came to do, so it is what it is. So they kill him, and then you get a younger, even more ambitious. He hasn't even gotten all that wisdom all the way to what he had when he first was introduced in Infinity War. They went back before that, so he learns, my other self did do this. Let me come back and just skip to this point, So he skips there, and he just has he has a bit more aggression. So I have to say he's still strong, he's still somewhat tactical, but a little bit more ambitious, right? And then you throw these characters who dealt with him once, and then they got to deal with him again. And it's they have so many built up against him, and he doesn't even know them. This version of Thanos don't even really know them. But the fact that he's still such a strong opponent just meant, they have to really overcome that. So imagine Hulk coming in and really trying to throw hands with him and preventing that kind of those moments of those other characters to really get their shine. It just wouldn't have worked the same way. I appreciate when Captain Marvel came in and they had that one scene where she's holding his hand or whatever she did, and he's just like, he didn't flinch. Like, I mean, she didn't even flinch. I mean, and he was like, yo, what's going on? Even Black was it Scarlet Witch? She comes in and she knows she does her thing, and like, and he was like literally shook, and it's like, yeah, like, nah, you done did some stuff, bro. Like, they really mad at you. So I just don't think if Hulk was just go rampaging the whole time, he wouldn't have got them moments. Yeah, like Hulk would have just, he would have been more pissed off, and like, he probably would have beat that man to sleep, and then it would be like, oh, this is a whole different movie now. So yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been 3 hours though.
It would have shaved off an hour. That's true. That's true. All right, man. Let's move us on to Homecoming. Move us on to the last one, bro.
So S, easy S,
man. Easy S.
Yeah, easy S for
Is it easy S plus?
For the Infinity joint, yeah. I mean, for Endgame.
So let me ask y'all this question. Well, I asked the question after we done because I feel like never mind. I'll wait on it.
All right. So we're continuing on. So blip of a hiatus, but we still had a sequel. Well, not a sequel. Anyway, we had another movie afterwards. 2019, Spider-Man, Far From Home. We got Mysterio, introduction of Mysterio. We got more progression with MJ and Ned. My man's is not in the Big Apple anymore. And yeah, more interactions, more post Tony Stark stuff, and more interactions with Happy. Get the new suit doing his thing. A longer movie too for Spidey. Anyway, Far From Home, react. How we like it?
I ain't scared. I don't care, bruh. But C for cat, bruh.
C for cat. Okay. I give it a B.
I'm thinking. I say B.
It was a B for me.
I can see
and
B.
I'm not gonna argue with y'all. I'm not gonna argue. I argue with y'all on the
I mean, I got my B for a reason. It's a B for a reason.
Yeah, and I got what you got, Jordan?
It's tough. So, I like this version. Well, let me retract my statement a little bit. I tolerate this version of Spider-Man in the first place.
Oh,
because first off, he Miles Morales, basically.
Mm-hmm.
He's Miles, but I like his version because he's the closest thing to my favorite version, which is in the video games, where he's actually legitimately super smart, but also like quippy and can have these little funny moments. But I'm not a giant fan of like this version of Spider-Man. That put with the fact that maybe it's just me from knowing Mysterio. I knew it was gonna happen a mile away, so it kind of ruins it like a little bit. Even when they tried to make them go down the whole, all right, I'm being the good guy, I'm trying, I'm setting this all up. But like I think it was cool how he did it, setting up the whole acting group. I saw the Mysterio thing from a mile away. Honestly, the only part about this movie that surprised me was probably the ending. And everything else was like, okay, it's an okay movie. I can go for C or B, one of those. I personally probably put it in C because it's not.
Could you watch it again?
It's the only thing.
Could you watch this movie again?
I watched it again.
I
can watch it
haven't.
again.
I haven't, but I could watch it over some of the other stuff in C. I don't know if I'd watch it over the stuff in B though.
There you go.
And me, like, the reason I put in the C is for character reasons. Like, and that's what I told you at the beginning. I can see why somebody would like this movie. I get it.
Same.
But to me, the reason why I don't like it is because Peter Parker isn't acting like Peter Parker. He's acting more like what Blue has said, more like Miles Morales. He's and not only is he acting more like Miles. Go ahead, bro. What's that?
He got a Genki.
Yeah, he does have
Has
a
a
Yeah, he got a
Genki.
gate. Exactly. But not only that, but they're pushing him to be Miles Morales, and they're pushing him to be Iron Man Jr. in this film. I feel like they're trying to put him in this role of there's and that's why I kind of don't like about this depiction of Peter Parker, because there's no Uncle Ben here. There's Tony Stark. Tony Stark is his Uncle Ben, which that still doesn't really gel with me. I never really bought onto that, and this movie sort of leans into that. But I like the fact that he he lost his Jiraiya. I appreciate them doing that. But yeah, in this movie, the only thing that really happens is the fact that he has to accept responsibility that he's a superhero now with no mentor. Like Nick Fury said, he's like, I'm just a kid in high school. He's like, I ain't gonna say what he said, but he's like, dude, you've been to space, But yeah, and he gets spider sense at the end. He finally gets spider sense. He didn't have this whole time. This movie, he got spider sense finally. But yeah, like Blue, I seen it coming from a mile away. I didn't like this more than Homecoming. I like Homecoming better than this one. That's why I put it at a C. I think the villain in Homecoming was spectacular, a lot better than this one. Mysterio, yeah, man, everybody saw that junk coming. But yeah, that's what I give it, man. C, man, it's alright.
I actually didn't know Mysterio.
I also say I'm a little disappointed too. I also don't like this version of Spider-Man because I feel like they're also trying to kill the Sinister Six moment that I want. I wanted to see a Sinister Six moment, like that moment. That
might get it. You
might get it.
You ain't getting it.
You
might get it. Yeah, you're right with the multiverse.
I want to see that the Peter Parker Sinister Six though. That's what I'm trying to see. I want to go in there. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I want to see that.
You about 10 years ahead of the game.
Exactly.
Spider-Man unfortunately has to pick a side between Sony or MCU before they could even go further with that type of stuff.
Yes.
But that's the thing. Like that's why I hate it, because the reason there should be a distinction between Peter Parker and Miles is the setup for the Sinister Six moment where Peter Parker dies and you pass that torch to Miles is legendary. And you know that they're two different people. Now, if they do it, even if it's in the future, it's like you pass it to the same person. Like you pass it to Miles. Miles is what they've done with Peter Parker. So I hate it for that reason.
They even gave Tom Holland's Miles Morales' suit. They gave him a red and black suit.
Yeah.
I'm like,
here's my thing with it. I agree with what all you guys saying. Initially, I felt the same, but it wasn't until I played Miles Morales on Spider-Man. I kind of want Miles Morales to be like that. Yeah. It's like, I felt the same vibe, like, wow, they literally, because even they teased with, what's the dude from, what's his name?
Charles Gambino.
Teasing that, okay, did he be Miles Morales?
Yeah.
Remember they kept teasing
that's his uncle.
To just, and then, like you said, he got his own Genki and whatnot. So I was like, man, they just combining a whole bunch of
different Spider-Mans, yeah.
But until I played Miles Morales, it's like, I kind of want him to I want to deal with black stuff. Like, I want him to deal with, like, in the hood. Like,
the best representation of Miles.
I like that, Miles. I like
give him the dunk.
He need to have it. He needs to have all this stuff. So I like the story. I didn't like like I said, I didn't like the Parker thing. I knew they got to do something big with Phase 4 with a multiverse or something. So it's like Mysterio thing, we saw that a mile away. I like the ending.
Yeah.
So it was a B tier to me. Like I said, the only thing that dropped it down for me is like you said, the Uncle Ben. I still don't. They never addressed that. I'm sorry, you have to address that. They just skipped over it and just go straight to Tony Stark basically being his second Uncle Ben. Is like, did he really learn? I don't know if Peter Parker ever learned with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
I don't know if he ever learned.
I was gonna say, have they ever mentioned that line at all?
I don't know.
I don't.
I think maybe in Homecoming he might have had something, like Tony may have said something similar to that, but I can't really remember it, to be honest.
I don't want to hear that. I mean, as much as I like Tony Stark, he ain't Uncle Ben. That's
true. That's true.
Him.
And not having that scene is not like it's like having Batman when his parents don't die.
Yeah.
It has to happen. Yeah. It's important to his character.
Something that I think, and I mean, I haven't really spoken much because I only watched this movie one time, and I thought it was good when I watched it, but I think I felt the same way about Homecoming too, where they were good movies when I first watched them, and I never was compelled to like go back and say, I want to run through this again. I thought seeing Mysterio was cool. Like you said, everybody said it was pretty obvious what he was going to do. But even like that final scene where like, I guess like, I forget exactly what was happening, but Peter, like you said, he got spider sense, he started doing some cool stuff, and that ending reveal where it's like, oh yeah, his name is Peter Parker, and it's like, oh, okay, like that's like a Civil War move. Like, what's that gonna do? But I don't know much about. I mean, like obviously we have leaks about what we should expect with the new movie for Spider-Man, and we know certain things are gonna blend in from other dimensions, right? However, what if he does get that Uncle Ben scene from like another Spider-Man universe? That would be kind of interesting to see. And maybe that's why they have not played it in this particular phase of Spider-Man movies that we've seen so far. So I'm willing to be more open about that. I do like Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man. From the ones that we've seen, I feel like it's the most comic book standard one. Outside of the fact that he's not like a super nerd, but he's age appropriate from a high school standard. And he's fun, he's witty, he has the quips and everything like that. So yeah, I like his version of Spider-Man, but at the same time, yeah, he's not his movies themselves are not where his most memorable moments come from. So same thing with this one. It wasn't like this one was just like, ooh, that was such a great movie for Spider-Man. Like, no, his best moments still come from Infinity War and Endgame and Civil War for me. So it's like, on that regard, like this movie could be, like I said, it could be a B, because it was good to me when I watched it. I never had anything bad to say about it personally. I did think it was better than the average movies, like on that C-tier side of things. But yeah, overall, I'm still very intrigued to see what they do with Spider-Man as a character, especially with this next movie that we all are kind of like knowing some extra stuff is supposed to be happening. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
And shouts out to Jake Gyllenhaal, because I think he's a phenomenal actor. Mm-hmm. But it's just, you can't help it. We already know what's up with Mysterio, so.
Yeah.
But Jake Gyllenhaal did his thing, though.
It was a good, I thought it was a good interpretation of the character.
I appreciate them trying to, put Spider-Man somewhere in a different setting, but man, Spider-Man, New York, man.
We need those swinging scenes. We need the swinging scenes.
No swinging scenes. I tell you this. He's a good Spider. He's like Japan Man said. He's a good standard Peter. No, he's a good standard Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's a good Spider-Man.
And his Peter Parker is
that's exactly what he is. He's like an ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, he is. If y'all ever read Ultimate Comics Spider-Man, he is Ultimate Spider-Man. Like that's literally with playing with Miles, but you kind of understand why, because Ultimate Spider-Man dying is what made Miles Morales come into fruition in the first place. Miles is from the Ultimate side of Marvel. So it somewhat makes sense. Do I want to see Miles in film? Absolutely. Like, I want to see him come in and be his own character. But I don't think they need to start Miles off like they did in the comics, where he's super young. Like, they can do Miles kind of like the Insomniac game version of Miles, where he's pretty much about to be out of school and can kind of handle his own. So, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, he's a fun character, but yeah, I don't know.
I tell you this, like, that's why I put in C tier, because Iron Man is a good movie. I think Doctor Strange is a good movie. I think Homecoming is a good movie. This movie is to me. That's why I put it in C. I don't think it's as good as those movies. I don't think it's good.
I don't see it on the same level as Homecoming for me personally.
Yeah. I can't fight y'all on that. I mean, I get if that's the majority swing, then yeah, it's fine.
I'm still on B, but I understand.
Yeah.
We gotta be a little
That
A
stuff
little more
with
picky, a
Vulture,
little more
just,
selective.
that stuff with Vulture just too nice, man. He showed up at the door. That's just nice. That was
It's
just
crazy. I'm never going back to watch either of them.
Both-
Man,
both-
it's on
both-
Disney Plus. So I never watched them
that
again.
moment where he showed up at the door and the ending of Far From Home is the same to me. It was the same shock value. Like, wow, Mysterio got the last laugh, and wow, the girl that Peter Parker like is the Vulture's daughter. Dang. I mean, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
Both of those moments were.
I'm
the
sorry,
same.
nobody saw
That's why I
that
put him in
coming.
B.
Nobody saw Birdman being his crushes.
Exactly.
Nobody saw that
Nobody
coming.
saw that.
And I didn't see how that was going to end Far From Home. I didn't see that. I was like, dang, I did not know that he was going to expose him like that.
And
So
here's
I
the
feel the same
thing,
way.
and we're getting off here because the movie is not yet, but it's like at the end of this movie, his public identity, his secret identity is public now. So Marvel, being Marvel, they taking it back already. They taking it back. Like the next movie, we know a huge plot is I want to reverse this. I want to reverse so no one knows my identity. So it's like, what's the point?
But there are many repercussions that can come from that. I mean, like, it's probably like one of the most divided comics that have ever released is called One More Day. And it's all about what happens after Civil War and the deal that Spider-Man makes with Mephisto. And he had a good life at that point. Like, he was known as Spider-Man. He was married to MJ. They potentially would have had a daughter. And he made a deal with the devil, basically, to have all of that reversed so Aunt May could live. Right? And that was at a time where, I mean, we've seen Aunt May for years. It would have been okay in my book if she died. But that didn't happen. And so now we've had this lineage of comic books that have gone back from that one particular decision, and his life has never been the same. He's never gotten back with Mary Jane again, like to that same extent or whatever. So in the movie, again, it could be more weight to what's going to happen with the consequences of that. So I don't know. I don't know. I think Marvel will play it. This version of Marvel, where we are now with the MCU and what they've been doing, I don't think they're going to play this as safe as maybe we may assume.
As a reminder, every Spidey, especially with the trailers, Spidey's been always the movie where they do there's always the big plot twist to it. I don't know if that's a common thing throughout. We can't say that necessarily for every other Marvel movie, but Spidey has always been a plot twist, even with the trailers and us having some kind of idea where it's supposed to go. Because Spidey's pretty straightforward, but everyone there's always been some kind of, I got you though, and it's always been great. So it's like, I can never I never count out like how Spider-Man is going to go, and or like, this is going to be whack, or I already know what's going to happen. It's always been something.
I tell you what, I'm ready for Spider. Man, I'm tired of him being in the house. Come on, man.
But you ain't getting that.
He's still in high school, man. He's still in high school. Man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Unless you want Toby to come back. And you know how Toby coming in this thing.
I want Toby to come back, bro. Forget y'all, man.
You know Toby coming back in this thing.
Bro, we need a whole team on that,
we got 2000 Marvel movies. 2000, like 90s, from the 90s to the 2000s, Marvel movies, like from Blade, the OG Blade movies, to Fantastic Trash.
Yeah, Fantastic.
Oh my God. What?
That's how it's spelled, man. That's how it's spelled. Fantastic.
Fantastic. Yep, Fantastic. God.
So how do you feel about the shit, man? How y'all think we got it? Is it straight? Do we need to make any adjustments? I think this is pretty solid. I don't know.
It's one more, ain't it?
I mean, this is all everything from phase 3 back. So Spider-Man Far From Home was like the switch from 3 to 4. So this list doesn't have.
That's the phases. Also, we ain't doing Black Widow. We
don't have Black Widow or Shang-Chi or anything like that, or any of the MCU movies.
Man, bump all that. Bump all that. Shang-Chi at A. Shang-Chi at A.
Okay.
Go ahead and proclaim that now.
Okay.
I was thinking about that.
Shang-Chi, it's either A or B. It's A or B.
No.
Let's go ahead and
Shang-Chi
do it.
hard.
No.
Real quick.
No, I ain't
Shang-Chi
I ain't seen it. I ain't seen it.
See?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go.
don't believe.
Have y'all seen
I don't
Widow yet?
believe.
Have y'all
I
seen
seen Black
Widow?
Widow.
Nah, I ain't seen
Black
it.
Widow. I
You
see.
ain't seen Widow neither?
I
I
see.
seen it. It come out Disney Plus like next month, so I mean, I'll watch it then. And I think Shang-Chi should be on that in like November or something. Then Spider-Man come out, so I mean, I'm gonna come out by the end of the year.
So 4 out of 5 have seen it.
I
You want to
see.
do Black Widow first or want to do Shang-Chi?
I mean, chronologically, you gotta do Widow first.
Alright. Black Widow, 2021, ScarJo. Reaction.
What do you think it is?
Yeah.
I can't do it.
I'm just gonna say this real quick. I put.
No spoilers, I guess.
We ain't seen it. Yeah, now I ain't doing no spoilers. Now I'm just gonna say this real quick. Shang-Chi, I would put Shang-Chi.
He's skipping
I'm gonna say, man, I see why he put it A. I'm gonna go Bravo though. I'm gonna put B for that.
I can
I'll
respect
get
that.
B.
I mean, for the movie's fun to see, so for it to come in at A or B at all, it's good.
Can't get a B plus. Let me get a B plus.
If y'all watch the movie, I feel like y'all gonna see why. Like,
I'll give it an
not only
A.
is
I'll
the
give it
action
an A.
good. Yeah, I'm just saying. Not only is the action good, but he actually has a story.
Right.
His character actually does things. He just doesn't get a power up. He just doesn't get a power up.
It's the same as Iron
It
Man
might
3.
be A tier. Dang, it might be A.
But y'all hyping this up.
Man, we can't even talk about it.
He Ip Man, basically. Y'all telling me.
No,
it's not.
he's not Ip Man.
He's not Ip Man. So we're trying to keep
It was
this
giving hands.
1,000%.
Oh, dang. Oh, Shang-Chi can't. Oh, all right. He might be.
No, but we're not the hands that were in
Silk, I'll tell
Shang-Chi.
you this, Silk. At the beginning, Silk, he fights like old school Jackie Chan with some little ray
right,
elements, and at the end, he switched over to Crouching Tiger. At the end, he does that kind of jump. You know what I'm saying? And the wind and jump.
Well, he must have
So,
liked that,
but like I said, it's not only that. The characters. Aquafina in this movie, I thought she was gonna be annoying. I love Aquafina.
No, she did good. Yeah, man.
They the best. They the best. They the best Marvel couple. I like them. I like them on screen together. They they did good.
Yeah.
They did good.
So we still trying to keep this spoiler free, but
I said nothing. You're right.
Yeah, Widow C, man. Widow C. It was
nah, hold on. You can't force it to do Shang-Chi. Then go back.
Ooh, I don't
You
know.
remember so like Biggs mentioned. Japan
May give it
mentioned.
a D. But
Hey, we don't like that.
I don't know. I just.
It seemed highly unnecessary to me. So, and that's just on the surface.
You know what?
I haven't watched it,
I'm
though, so I
gonna
don't
give it a
know.
C. I give it a C.
At least a C. Widow's not bad.
It's not bad.
Is
It's
it?
not what you expected. It's not what I expected.
And it'll age well, better than all the other ones. It's gonna age way better.
Yeah, it relate to.
I think that's its fault.
I know.
Because COVID did delay
On the
it. for
timeline,
sure.
there was no reason. I can see why she sued. I can see why she sued, didn't it? I think they should have did that. I think they should have released it with the timeline that it's set in. It would have did better. Exactly. I would say that. I would say that.
They should have took Captain Marvel's spot. They should have swapped them.
Exactly. Exactly.
Interesting.
Yep.
Should have swapped.
The timeline of the movie.
Nah, I can't do
that's
that,
what
man.
it should have came out at. That's what it should have came out at.
That would have still
Like,
Endgame. She can't just show up, so I don't know. But I don't know. I haven't seen this movie, so I would have to.
But I gotta watch
Watch it,
it.
check it out.
It was good.
Little
Lola Shan-
on Disney Plus on the 12th, I think November 12th.
Yeah, so Black Widow comes out in October, or this month, like in a week or something, and then Shang-Chi will be the next month. So yeah, we'll be able to catch up by
They
then.
both get minimum B's.
Bruh.
A minimum of a B.
Not
Oh, really? You think Black Widow gets a B?
Minimum.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna hype this movie up. But I can't help but Blue. Did you feel like this, bruh? watching Shang-Chi, I was like, bro, this is the closest I'm gonna get to DBZ. At least that's my thought. I was like,
Yes.
this is
That's
the closest
crazy.
I'm gonna get to
Literally.
Dragon Ball.
Wow.
Yeah.
But y'all talking
Yeah.
I didn't expect you to say that. I didn't expect you to say that.
right now.
Y'all
been
seriously.
Y'all been
Bruh.
drinking before y'all came on here.
Not drinking, that's funny.
But
Drinking, hold up.
they don't understand. They don't understand
They don't.
Shinron. They don't understand
You ain't-
Shinron.
Oh my gosh, that's Hey, what's up?
Yeah, but that's what I was saying.
Why y'all clowning?
Blue. I was like, Blue. I was like, this is the closest I'm gonna get to Goku and Vegeta. This is the
I
closest.
agree. I agree.
Okay, listen, you so excited to see me.
Like he
Man,
did some dunking in with
Stop.
Realize.
but dude, I was like,
I gotta wait till November to talk about this movie. Oh my god.
And just know,
Y'all talking red
Mandarin got the story he deserved.
Okay,
Yes, he did.
I
He got the
understand.
story.
The same in the same sentence.
If you connected the sentence of Iron Man 3, then
That's
it's a
strong words you just said.
well, look. Let me say, look. How about this? Just go in expecting nothing, and you may be pleasantly.
They said this movie is better than Black Panther. Yeah, they said
So you definitely need to go and play Slade.
that's what I'm saying. I was like, what? Black Panther? This is better than Black
me.
I'm saying, I heard people say that this movie was supposed to
hear
be.
you.
You can't hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Literally, bro. Speak lower, because I think your mic cutting you off, bro.
Okay. So no, I said I've heard people say that they've assumed that this movie was better than Black Panther, and I was like, wait, what? Like Shang-Chi is a better intro movie than Black Panther?
It can be. I can see an argument for it. It's not. I don't think personally I would choose it over Panther, but you can make an argument for it. There are very good.
You understand why they may say that, but
yeah, there are
say it's
solid
true.
moments in this.
And honestly, and I won't get mad at that, because you got to think about it this way. Black Panther, we seen T'Challa before Black Panther.
right.
So I feel like in terms of a solo, this is our first time seeing this cat. I can see them saying that. I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
they
objectively
did very
speaking,
well with them.
yeah, but objectively speaking, if we look at this, take the fandom out, all that stuff, Black Panther is a better movie than Shang-Chi.
Okay.
It's just a better movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
but I ain't man. This might be an A, because I'm
They
thinking
did a lot of good stuff.
It has some good stuff, man. It has some real good stuff.
Be
They made
minimum.
me care about Shang-Chi. I was like, bro, okay. Everybody else got blasters and hammers.
I
but
want you to win.
This man said, I don't need it. I don't need it.
these. I got him. Okay.
There's one thing I don't know if I can say this. There's only one issue I have with this movie, but I don't know if I can say it like it. It has to do with the rings, though.
Bruh.
Or now then we get too much into it
Everybody,
now.
hold on, everybody else go mute real quick.
Nah, I'm out. Nah, because you're gonna hear me react.
Y'all better do a Zoom meet. A Zoom room.
All right, we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna wrap up.
I go say that.
They had some pretty much. I will say that they tried to represent for the Asian folk like they did with Black Panther. You know,
To an extent, yeah. But they did good. It was good. It was good.
They did.
All right, so we have the beginning of Phase 4 already in store, on the way. Already touched on some of it, but we definitely have some definitive ratings for everything up to Phase 3, the real story. Like you said, I guess we could post a modified picture of this with the A+, B+. That would be a whole another hour and a half of debating, but we're supposed to file a tier list later on just for kicks and giggles. But ultimately, this will be our rankings for Marvel thus far. Gentlemen, it's definitely a pleasure being with you guys. Being able to finally do this. Finally got part 2 in the books. And we're looking forward to some future ones of these. We got more salty tiers, a couple other series, a couple other topics. And yeah, you definitely enjoy them coming up soon.
Quick question before we dip. You don't have to like explain it in depth. What movie are we looking forward to the most, personally? And upcoming.
MCU?
Yeah. What next are you looking forward to the most?
X-Men, bro.
That's not announced, bro. What are you talking about?
For me, it's going to be the Doctor Strange. I think that's going to be the next setup.
That's the next Avengers, moment.
Yeah, that's going to be wild.
Yeah.
That's going to be wild. Because I get my unexpected hit with Loki. I didn't know it was going to end like that. So I was like, oh.
So I was going to say Thor, because Thor's going to be after that. So I was actually going to look forward to Thor.
I'm going to say Black Panther 2.
I ain't about that.
And Black Panther 2 for just cautiousness, because we lost our Black Panther. So I really want to see what they're going to do. I have faith that they potentially can pull it off, but I'm just really nervous. I don't know.
They've already done 2 trips.
I don't know what they can do with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm intrigued on that end, but I'm just, it's going to be bittersweet regardless, whatever they decide to do.
They're going to be excellent job.
Black Panther 2, man, recast T'Challa, man. I don't care, bro. We got some money.
That's heavy, bro.
They said he wasn't going to.
Man.
That's heavy.
They said he wasn't going to do it. They already said no.
His sister Shuri had been Black Panther before. I would see that before they were just straight up recasting.
Man, I mean, but it's not time, right? It's not time yet. I feel like it's really not.
I mean, that's the thing. Like the whole thing is he died. So
if he fights Namor, if they put Namor in it, I would want them to recast. I want T'Challa to fight Namor. I don't want Shuri to fight Namor. I don't want it. I don't. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I don't want, because and this is the thing. We gotta talk about this real quick, because yes, Chadwick Boseman passing is a tragedy. That's not, and I'm not saying it's just let's forget about him. That's not what I'm saying. But look, I gotta keep it a buck, because we keep it a buck here, 100% honestly. Black Panther was the first awesome black superhero we got. I don't care. Period. I don't care. I don't care about all this stuff. Came from Meteor Man, all that junk. Get out here. Black Panther. So look, check this out. This is the first one. This and Blade is a
anti-hero.
He's anti-hero. So Black Panther is the first super hero good guy. Had an awesome
super hood hero.
Yeah, super hero.
So I feel like if you just say, okay, y'all finally got y'all dude, you can't have no more because this actor died. Like I feel like Chadwick will want his character to keep going. And I feel like really if it's gonna be jarring if you just try to have Black Panther 2. Like to me, the only way I feel like Black Panther 2 could be what I want it to be, and this is just my own little fan fiction that exists within my head, pretty much, is that, you got these different characters in Wakanda dealing with Namor, the threat of Namor coming up, and we can't find T'Challa nowhere. They dealing with different things, because they have said that this is going to focus on different communities within Wakanda. That's what they're going to focus on. But maybe if you introduce Black Panther at the end, he, just like the comics, he never takes his helmet off. But we see him fight Namor. Like, that's the only way I can see it. I mean, but I want to see, if it's Namor, I'm with Silk, I want to see T'Challa, the Black Panther, fight Namor, man. That's it. That's all.
And let's be fully real here. For the ladies, we understand it would be nice to have a female Black Panther. That's great. But y'all about to get Monica Rambeau going off, number one.
That's true.
She already great.
She's awesome.
And number two, I am not sold. One day we're gonna have a conversation. I am not sold on Sam Wilson being Captain America. Not yet.
Whoa.
I am not sold on Sam.
Me neither. That's bad.
One of the
Yeah.
I think we got to put some tears about the show, man. We got to put some tears about the
I am not
show.
sold.
Give that junk to Bucky. Give that junk to Bucky.
No.
Nah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Bucky got his arm took off.
Yeah.
Man, stop. Bucky got his arm took off.
Bucky not about it. Bucky not about it.
I thought about that too, but now I said, you know what? Give it to Sam. Bucky got his arm.
We got to have something to tell about the show.
He didn't even know his arm could come off. But he said, bro, I didn't know y'all built that in there. He said, what do you think? I said,
But Sam got that shield, still got body, and then tried to preach to all of us.
He not a super soldier, bro. He not a super soldier.
Bro, he not a super soldier.
He still lame. That's
Bucky got his arm took off. Some humans.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
I would have took
He said, "Take the juice."
Falcon Lane, bro. Falcon Lane.
That's crazy.
He got the same heart.
Nah, man.
No, he don't. Bro, he do. Oh, he don't, bro. You wrong, bro.
He said that. But when Steve lifted up the hammer, because he didn't need the juice. Now you want the juice?
Who you are as a person? Who you are as a person? When you take the juice.
That's crazy.
You either want to have the juice or you don't. You either want to have it or you don't.
Don't pay who you are.
What happened when Steve picked up the hammer? He didn't need the juice, but now y'all want Sam to take the juice. Oh man, oh man.
Y'all gotta start a whole nother solitaire.
I don't care about his skin color. Forget that man. He sucks. I don't care.
I want the black man to take the juice, but the black man to take
This is episode 1.
So y'all ready?
Stay on the lookout.
That was definitely black on black.
No racist was harming the dirty process of this conversation.
Are y'all racist?
His suit trash too, bro.
Oh my God.
That suit trash. Bro. He look like Deku, bro. He look like a at-home Deku, bro. He look terrible, bro. He that visor, bro. What is that, man? Nah, man, God.
All right. And on that note, we are out, folks. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Y'all hate no black man.
We will be back. We'll be back with more of these.
We said, open top, let the waves show.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's right. Y'all want Bucky to have. He got it on took off.
What's the point of having a helmet?
Oh my God.
Top of your head out, man.